the people that count, those people love Trump. Because I've done more for you than your parents, okay? Your parents are good. I'm not going to knock your parents, but I have been better to you than your parents. That I can tell you, and they would agree with me. Wherever they may be, they would agree.
This felt so far to me like one of those awkward wedding speeches where the bride's father thinks he's funnier than he is and goes on way too long telling stories. I mean, I have been to countless White House Correspondents' dinners. I have worked for 2 presidents who have spoken at these dinners. And it's always stressful to come up with funny jokes, but here we are. Now, the backdrop, again, we've been talking about this, but the backdrop of tonight's speech was not just that this is a man who is at somewhere between 30 and 32 or 33% in recent polls for overall approval rating. It's a man who has spent his presidency attacking, threatening, and suing the very media organizations who are in the room as he is speaking tonight, which I think we all have to talk about and acknowledge. And as for the speech itself, and if you've been listening, you've heard from a lot of this, but just in case you're tuning in now or you're just trying to make sense of what's happening, he spent a good chunk of time talking about his favorite topic of all time, surprise, surprise, his job as an interior decorator, musing about the chandeliers in the Palm Room and new windows, everyone. We're in the middle of a war, but new windows and the chandelier. And of course, about his second favorite job as White House events coordinator, from the recent fight on the White House lawn, that was quite a horror show that we all saw, to plans for the future and his events he's planning in the future. He also talked in detail about the last Correspondents' dinner and threats on his life in gory detail at some point. He talked about the changes David Ellison might make, maybe joked about the name of the Correspondents' dinner being changed, joked about maybe a third term, which he said he was joking, but who knows? And also for a man who looked like he had very, very heavy eyelids for the majority of the night, and that is being very diplomatic. He felt like this was the moment to make an age joke about Joe Biden of all people. So there is that, maybe not a big room reader. The closest thing he came to an actual joke was a riff about RFK's love of dead animals, and maybe a little bit in the beginning, but maybe there's more jokes to come.
They used the word, first time I heard it, it was a word, made up by the Democrats. Affordability. They said, affordability. I said, I've been here one day. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. And we're taking care of it.
A made-up word just happens to be a nation's priority. Trump has called affordability a hoax. He's called it a con job. He's called it a scam. That's not what voters think. A new Pew Research poll found voters want candidates running for Congress to talk about, dun, 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 affordability. And 60% of voters feel that his policies have made the economy worse. Can you blame them? Gas prices are up almost a full $1 a gallon since this time last year. Experts say Trump's tariffs have cost the average American household about $1,700. But hey, if you made $2 billion in the last year, you might think that affordability was a made-up word too.
President Donald Trump gave a speech here at the White House Correspondents' Dinner for the first time as a sitting president, but he didn't exactly command the room. The president attacked familiar foes, reporters, including several from CNN, J.B. Pritzker, Joe Biden.
Just remember, before I came along, if you wanted to see someone lose consciousness on the South Lawn of the White House, all you had to do is ask Joe Biden a question. Remember that.
But many of his jokes didn't seem to land, and some weren't even jokes at all. He riffed on Iran and the new ballroom he's building at the White House. He seemed to recognize at times it wasn't going well.
You know what? In other words, can't go up the stairs and make love. Does anybody get that? Well, I thought that was actually pretty good.
Inside the room, there were often long stretches of silence as Trump talked. He drew some laughs early on, particularly with a joke about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
I hope that everyone finally got to enjoy their entire, very delicious beef tenderloins, very special beef. And I want you all to know that Bobby Kennedy, who's right here, personally ran over the cow in his car.
Earlier in the night, he shook hands with journalists who won awards, several of them honored for journalism, highly critical of Trump and his administration. We do expect to see him back on a similar stage. During the remarks, Trump vowed to attend the dinner when it takes place next year.
Trump thinks he cares about Americans, but this is how they feel. Let's watch this.
He doesn't care about us. Somebody asked him about a week ago, what about the American people? And they're struggling right now.
To what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit.
He did not care. I couldn't even watch that. I was angry after that. Like, I voted for you and you don't care about me?
Because Donald Trump doesn't care about you? Well, you better put on a cape so you can be super mad, because I got news for you. I don't care about you either. Congratulations! You've reached a conclusion that all of us with an IQ above the temperature of the planet Hoth realized 10 years ago, and we've been telling you every single fucking day since. It's only now that he literally says the words, I don't care about you out loud, that you're mad. It wasn't the literal concentration camps he ordered to be built. It wasn't the masked goon squad that he assembled to racially profile and assault and kidnap black and brown people when they're not murdering protesters in the fucking streets. One of them literally threw a protester in front of an 18-wheeler yesterday. It wasn't the illegal war that he started where 13 American service members were killed. It was none of that. It was the fact that gas prices went up and he said, I don't care about little old you. Jesus fucking Christ! Don't get me wrong. I'm glad you've seen the light. I hope it sticks with you. But don't come looking for any fucking sympathy from me. Because your problem with him only started once he had a problem with you.
Palm Beach Airport, renamed after Donald Trump.
Okay, just watch this. Fresh off renaming Palm Beach International Airport to President Donald J. Trump International Airport with a ridiculous $5.5 million price tag of taxpayer money, Donald Trump once again proves he ruins everything just by slapping his name and droopy face on it. Passengers are furious, boycotting the place, flooding social media with hate, and United Airlines is even offering free flight changes to Fort Lauderdale or Miami because so many people refuse to fly into this vanity project. This is classic Trump, whose number one priority seems to be branding landmarks with his poisonous name, dedicating bridges in Tennessee and forcing his likeness everywhere like some desperate ego trip. And it doesn't stop there. He's wasting your money on gaudy, overpriced, unnecessary beautification projects in Washington, D.C., building himself a new ballroom while America deals with skyrocketing costs and crises he created. The narcissism is off the charts, truly deranged, and it's hilarious how badly it blows up in his face every single time.
So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. We're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place.
I mean, so much to absorb there.
My dad is a crazy fucking liberal, and for Father's Day, my brother thought it was a good idea to get him this card. You have to listen to this.
Family reached out to me. They said, Donald, please wish our dad a happy Father's Day. Frankly, I'm very busy, but they begged. They have tears in their eyes, so here I am. Now listen, I know a lot of dads, and most of them disasters. They are total thermostat police, terrible grass, weak sneakers, sleeping on the couch, and said, just resting my eyes. Sad, but you, different. Your approval ratings in that house, through the roof. Kids love you, dog loves you, everybody loves you. If best dad in America was on the ballot, you'd win all 50 states, second only to me, obviously. So sit back, crack open a cold one, enjoy your day, big guy. Happy Father's Day.
I got it on TikTok.
Jesus. Trump made my dad lose it. Just watch this.
Hey, buddy, it's me, Donald Trump. I just want to say Happy Father's Day. Nobody does dad so better than you. Nobody. You've grilled the burgers.
This pro-Trump business owner in Florida is finding out the hard way.
This pro-Trump business owner in Florida is finding out the hard way. John Wong runs a small grocery store in Florida. His family started it back in 1983 after immigrating from Hong Kong. And for decades it thrived, a local staple for Asian ingredients in Manatee County. Then, Trump got elected, and everything changed. But don't feel too bad. John supported Trump. He believed the promises. Lower grocery costs, better trade deals, help for small businesses. Instead, Trump's tariffs crushed his store. Most of John's inventory comes from China, the Philippines, and Vietnam. the exact countries hit with massive tariff hikes. He used to pay $2.75 for a box of Mabo tofu sauce. Now, that same box is $5. Every shipment that arrives, the prices go up. Again. He's tried to not raise prices on his customers, many of them elderly living on fixed incomes, with one of his customers now rationing a can of sardines just to get by. John's store has been around for 43 years. Now, it's barely hanging on. And the worst part for John? He voted for the guy who's directly responsible for driving it straight into the ground. John told reporters, "Is there any future? Is this the American dream? Hey John, this is the dream that you voted for. So have fun with it."
At his rally at one of General Motors' campus in Michigan, Donald Trump really showed his rear end. First, he told the auto workers that he's done more for them than their parents.
Because I've done more for you than your parents, okay? Your parents are good. I'm not going to knock your parents, but I have been better to you than your parents.
Then he struggled to say the word Silverado, like the Chevy Silverado.
Here's some of America's most iconic vehicles, including the Chevy. Well, I hear it's good.
He then tried to say Mexico like he was Hispanic.
Here's you watch companies move production from America down to Mexico. Mexico.
Then he goes off on a rant about how he won the war in Venezuela in 48 minutes and how somehow he's going to do the same thing in Iran.
A lot of people were against that war. We don't want the Venezuela. What are you doing? What you did after we won in about 48 minutes approximately? They said, oh, that was a good move. Well, the same thing's happening in Iran. People just don't see it. We have destroyed their Navy. We've destroyed their Air Force. We've destroyed their leadership. We've destroyed their anti-aircraft weaponry. Their drones are being made at a rate of about 7%.
Then he apologizes for the air conditioner not working, but then he says he likes it because it's making him lose weight.
And it is a little warm up here, but I love that because every time I make a speech, I lose weight. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful way to lose weight.
And then, listen to this. He says, Democrats and their cities and leaders are just dirty.
When they take something over, it's always dirty. The sidewalks are dirty. The people are, I hate to say this, not clean, okay? The curbs are loaded with you-know-what. The smell is terrible. I mean, I see it happening to cities. Blue cities are all blue. They're all blue. We don't have problems with the Republican-run cities, I mean, for the most part. But they're dirty. And they said, it's filthy dirty. It's so dirty, they've never seen it like that. It's so filthy dirty. And I just thought of it. Nobody ever says that. I'm sort of a clean freak. I like clean. Do you ever see Washington, D.C.?
Wow, says the man with a diaper full of poop. You really can't make this stuff up.
So Donald Trump is saying, I've done more than for you than your parents. That means our parents are not doing a good job. Trump is the one feeding families in America, is the one who is taking care of everyone in the United States. So our parents are nothing. Trump holds a rally in Michigan as he meets with auto workers. So he say he takes care of you than your parents.
It's so grifty. I'm not going to lie, it's grifty. The Trump family is grifty. There's been like story after story about all the money that his sons are making off of the government, these government contracts they're getting, all that. I can't stand that stuff. And I love his sons. Okay. So I say this as a true fan of theirs, but I didn't like it when Hunter Biden was doing it. And I don't like it when the Trumps are doing it.
That was MAGA pundit Megyn Kelly talking about the Trump sons and how much she doesn't like the griftiness of what appears to be quite a bit of self-dealing. She's not the only MAGA pundit who seems to be pretty turned off by the appearance of self-dealing by Trump and his sons. There is Candace Owens, there is Nick Fuentes. All three of those people have really come out against the grifty nature of what looks like it's happening out of this administration.
How much more does the Trump family need? How much more money do you guys need? When is enough enough?
They're not the only ones. Even less MAGA, but still very conservative outlets have been pretty put off by some of the allegations of self-dealing. We have the Wall Street Journal editorial board and the Free Press editorial board, both condemning the appearances of self-dealing, the deals, the companies, all of the sort of nepotism and kleptocracy that it looks like is happening here. And we're seeing a lot of reporting on disclosures, financial disclosures, both from Trump and his children. And the question is, does this fracture the MAGA base even more? Remember, this is a person who ran for president on the idea that he would drain the swamp, that he would end corruption, that he would end fraud. And here are a lot of allegations of fraud and corruption and self-dealing.
This one doesn't care about Donald Trump, even if Donald Trump likes him or not. He was reacting to Trump's attacks at a White House Correspondents' Dinner. You know?
I could care less. I had zero F's to give about whether Donald Trump likes me. He doesn't. I don't care. I am okay with that. I care that every time he chooses personal grievance over public service, he makes the presidency feel smaller. He makes America feel smaller. The presidency isn't supposed to be to revolve around one man's resentments. It's supposed to revolve around 340 million Americans. Their lives, our lives, their families, our families, their futures, our futures. And that's where really the attention belongs. Not on old grudges, not on juvenile insults, not on settling scores from behind the presidential seal. America deserves a president who spends more time solving problems than performing grievances. That is what leadership really is. And that's why when people say, hey, do you think that you ever would run for office? When I say, well, I think I'd be a better president than Donald Trump, that's just fact. I just think that I do. I would. And maybe that's why people ask, because they want someone who's honest. I don't know what it is. But if we've lowered the bar so much that simply asking for that sounds controversial, because that's what they're going to say, then we've got a lot more to worry about than what happened at one dinner.
CBC went to North Carolina to listen to what the residents are saying about Donald Trump's administration, or Donald Trump as a president. This is what they are saying.
Before he got in office, all those criminals coming in here, he closed the border.
I love my country. And I hate what is happening to it.
He's a grifter, liar, manipulator. Seeing the treatment of American citizens is concerning.
He's the best one we've had since Ronald Reagan.
We came to North Carolina to visit some small and rural communities considered Trump country to get a better sense of how the president's supporters are feeling.
I think he's doing all right.
I think he's doing a great job. I think he's listening to the people, and I think he does what the people say.
So how do Donald Trump supporters feel about his handling of controversial issues? Let's start with immigration.
I don't think anybody wishes that anyone would have been killed, but the reality is that there's that situation that is developing in Minneapolis where ICE is trying to conduct their lawful duties. They have to do that. It's not optional for them.
The protesters are just idiots. I hate people get killed, but if you act like a fool, you get treated like a fool.
Those people were in these groups that were taught to go out and harass the ICE people. I mean, they're helping their communities be safer by getting those people out.
Oh, he's doing a fine job. We had to come in and straighten out a lot of mess.
Is there anything that stands out to you that you like most about what he's doing?
I like the fact that he can't be controlled.
When it comes to Canada, voters here view Trump's threats as a joke, and some are even aware of the Alberta separation movement.
What do you think about how Trump has talked about Canada?
I think it's funny. I think he's doing it to get a reaction out of people. If you live in Alberta, I support you.
Oh, Alberta separation.
A lot of us down here refer to them as Snow Texas. They share a lot of the common values that I would associate with American values. Whether they want to be an independent state or if they wanted to join the union, then I would be cool with that.
Voters here who support Democrats tell us with everything that's gone on so far this year, it's only hardened their opposition.
It's very depressing and concerning, especially with all the corruption and the disgusting people he's pardoned.
We love Canada.
Yep.
That's
Stick it
all.
to Trump with the tariffs, you guys. Buy from somebody else. Punish him for being an idiot. Thank you, Canada. We love you.
I never expected this, right? It's terrifying. You read about this stuff, you learn about it. It's part of history.
When does the time come that we rise up? We're looking at things that are happening in Minneapolis and Minnesota and around the country with ICE and the thuggishness and what I perceive to be nation fascism. Now, am I on the cusp of arming myself and rising up? No. But the fact that I asked the question is horrifying.
This one is super fascinating. Okay, a woman by the name of Victoria, I'm going to play it for you. She was not aware. She didn't even know January 6th happened. And when she found out about it, she was done. Okay, so listen to what she has to say.
I'd been assigned to watch a PBS documentary about January 6th. I remember them talking about the Proud Boys. And I was like, what are the Proud Boys? What is this? And watching that documentary, I learned a lot of really, really not so nice truths about Trump. And that led me down this path of asking questions. Did this really happen? Could I have context on this? At the core of MAGA, I believe that people want to love America, not the America that is, but the idea of America, right? And I love the idea of America. So to think that people could go and assault like the foundations of what this country is, like they preach constitutionalism, but then disregard it when it does not suit them. And that was a big breaking point for me. What were the contradictions? Once I saw them, like there were so many contradictions.
I mean, look, I think people out there might say, how did she not know about January 6th? Be quiet. That's not the question to be asking right now. The question is, people like her, this is a great website. It's like, who needs to know more information about what this guy is actually about? Who may not watch MS Now. They may not watch Midas Touch or listen to it. They may not listen to Pod Save America, whatever else it may be. And allow for a bridge for these people to walk over it to the side that is not supporting somebody who played a role in January 6th. So that, I think, is super interesting. Okay, there's another one. I mean, there are lots of them, but there are a couple that stuck out to us. And one of them is from a guy named Michael from Ohio. And what was his heart stop? Well, the villainization of immigrants. And like, Lord knows, that has been central. I see you, Stephen Miller, to what Trumpism is all about. But it's interesting to hear people talk about it and this realization of the impact of it on their actual lives. So just listen to what Michael had to say.
I feel the way you talk as a leader really matters. It's at some point, it's not just words, and it affects people's lives. And it's the immigration process is already really hard as it is, and it takes a long time. And if they're drumming up fear about immigrants, I feel like it's going to make it almost impossible for me to bring her over here.
Okay, so he's talking about the fact that his girlfriend is from the Philippines and he's seeing the impact on his life. And again, you may say, well, Stephen Miller was in the first White House.
Somebody, please explain to me, who raised these people? What the fuck is wrong with them?
We are huge Trump supporters. If you didn't get the email on Monday, you're safe. And I'm like skipping down the halls, right? Like, you know, I get to stay. Wednesday, late afternoon, I received a notice that I have an appointment, a Teams appointment with my supervisor on Friday at 9:00. So I knew that I wasn't safe anymore.
You were skipping down the hall. You were so excited when you thought you were safe. You knew others were suffering and gonna suffer, but you knew you were safe. You were cool with it.
Cutting costs and waste and fraud and we love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, you know, we were excited about that because it is true.
I could just picture you and your friends, glasses of cheap fucking wine, just laughing over others and how others are gonna get affected.
The common theme is, you know, we voted for this. You knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives, but other people that we love and care about too within the Mid-Ohio
There it
Valley.
is. It's only when you're affected that you actually feel bad about something. You don't have any regrets for everyone else. It's that you got affected. You're despicable. You're disgusting. How does it feel?
It's hard. It's wrecking.
Good.
I think that it's ridiculous.
To change that would be, unthinkable.
Why not him? Okay, so the Trump administration is asking Congress to order Amtrak to change the name of New York Penn Station. This is all a part of a broader transportation proposal. And look, they didn't specify what the name could be, but if you remember, President Trump named the Kennedy Center after himself, an airport. So New Yorkers are a little bit concerned that the iconic transportation hub could be next.
Let me guess. Another one? We're going to name why don't we just name the whole country after Trump? Let's just name everything. Trump this, Trump that, Trump kitchen, Trump donuts, Trump everything. Let's Trump everything. But enough is enough. How can you change Penn Station?
Penn Station has been here forever. When I travel to New York, and when people come here, they know what Penn Station is. So to change that would be, unthinkable.
I think that it's ridiculous. I think the more that the president tries to name everything after himself, the more ridiculous he looks. And I sure hope that it doesn't go through. Just look at what he's done and how he's made it happen. And he's the most narcissistic person on the planet. And the more places he can get his name on, the bigger his ego is.
Ooh, can I roll my eyes out? Roll my eyes out loud?
I mean, everyone else has a name after themselves, so why not him,
Listen to this lady, because here we don't only, we balance the news. So let us listen to this lady.
If you hate Donald Trump, then you must love terrorist regimes. Okay. If you hate Donald Trump, then you must also hate America. If you hate Donald Trump, then you must hate God. That man loves God. If you hate Donald Trump, that means that you hate freedom. If you hate Donald Trump, it's because somebody told you to hate him and you don't think for yourself. Because Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad. Oh my God, I can't believe he bombed Iran. Oh my God, the Iranian people are going to be so dumb. The Iranian people are fucking celebrating. Just like in Venezuela. When he... It's almost like the man knows what the fuck he's doing. It's almost like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's almost like, shut the fuck up.
Did you notice Donald Trump's reaction when CNN's Caitlin Collins walked up to receive her award at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? Just moments earlier, Trump had singled her out during his speech, congratulating her before immediately attacking the reporting behind her award as fake, joking that she never smiles, and repeating his familiar criticism of CNN as fake news. But when Collins' name was announced and she stepped onto the stage, the atmosphere shifted. Cameras showed Trump rising to congratulate her with a brief handshake, despite the criticism he had directed at her minutes before. Collins acknowledged the gesture and continued accepting congratulations from others as she received her award. The contrast between Trump's pointed remarks during his speech and the formal congratulations that followed quickly became one of the most talked about moments of the evening. Clips of the exchange spread rapidly across social media, with viewers closely discussing the body language, the handshake, and the sharp difference between the speech and the ceremony itself. By the end of the night, the interaction between Donald Trump and Caitlin Collins had become one of the defining moments of this year's White House Correspondents.
Trump wants to call himself everything. Remember what he did by calling himself Jesus? Let us watch this.
That's a disgrace. I'm very upset about that. I mean, how egotistical can you possibly be? I'm ashamed that he would actually do that. A man I voted for and trust.
I know I'm probably going to lose followers. That's okay. You can either support my decision or you don't. It's completely up to you. But I've been a Trump supporter for a very long time. The gas prices, almost $5 a gallon for unleaded. My brother-in-law just posted a video. I just seen it this morning. He might have posted it yesterday. I don't know. Him and his wife, they went out to Dairy Queen, got 2 ice creams and a basket of fries, and it was $35. All right, I'm tired of it. So from now on, I'm not voting for anybody. I'm not voting for anybody. You can either support that decision or you don't. I don't care. I'm not voting no more because it don't matter who's in office. It does not matter who is up there in the office. They do not care about us. So that's my decision. You can either support it or you don't. I don't care. We're all grown folks. We'll not be voting anymore. Fed up with it. I say we just hit the two candidates who wants to run, put them in a boxing ring, and let them box it out. No more voting. You want to be a president, get in the boxing ring and fight it out. And that's how we'll take care of it. But I'm no longer voting. I'm done with that. We tried that. Fail.
Now, as I see my two beautiful sons sitting there, I think I'm going to give one to myself, one to them, and we'll have a threesome, okay? I'll pick out one of the two. I'll give them the Congressional Medal of Honor for something, for their genius at hunting. And I'll get one for taking on Russia or something. And we'll have a third pair. No, I'm only kidding. But I have seriously thought about, now this is dangerous to say because the fake news is up there all over the place. And when I joke, I learned early on, don't be sarcastic in politics.
Mom, is Donald Trump racist?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Dad, is Donald Trump racist?
No, I don't think he's racist.
In the Epstein files, it said that he absolutely did not want any black children coming to the island for him. Just FYI.
Just FYI, that's fake and false. If he's a racist, why did he help Jennifer Hudson's family when they lost everything and everybody was murdered in her family and he paid for everything?
And his son-in-law is Jewish.
Why would he back HBCU, the historical black college university, at $255 million a year? Why did he bring that initiative to the White House? Why did he forgive $300 million to those same people for debt forgiveness? Why, if you're calling him a racist, how do you support that? And he also supports a lot of black civic rights leaders. So
He has to do that for the optics so that people like you can say he's not racist. I would counter your questions with these questions. Why did he post a picture of the Obamas as apes? Why doesn't he believe Obama was born in this country? Why did he take out a full-page ad in the New York Times condemning the Central Park Five?
because with Obama, there's never been proven document that he was born where he's supposed to be born. Number two, on that account that was shared, those pictures, it was a 62-second video that promoted claims of widespread fraud in the 2020 election.
That had an image of the Obamas as apes.
Trying to find out if people are older or younger than Trump. How old are you?
I'm 77.
So you're younger than the President of the United States?
Yes, I am.
What's his greatest accomplishment thus far?
Oh, I don't know, being a Christian and taking care of everybody. And even if they don't like him, he's good.
Do you think Donald Trump is a Christian?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
He says he doesn't go to church.
He's a busy man. Right. He's doing a lot of stuff. So.
Do you think Donald Trump prays?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every day.
You think he really think he prays?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
No, just because he said in the Oval Office a few months ago, he's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to heaven or hell. He said that. I might be going to a bad place.
Well, you know, he makes a lot of tough decisions.
Yeah.
So.
What evidence have you seen that he is a Christian?
You just follow him. I mean, the things he does, and you know, I think he's awesome. He's making the world, you know, a better place for everybody, and you know, takes care of everybody.
Did you see the meme that he posted of himself where he kind of looked like Jesus Christ healing someone?
I've seen so many pictures out there that they do that you don't.
You would agree that it's never acceptable to assault a police officer, right? So then if I can, among those you pardoned, DJ Rodriguez, he drove a stun gun into the neck of a DC police officer who was abducted by the mob that day. He later confessed on video to the FBI and pleaded guilty for his crimes. Why does he deserve a pardon?
Well, I don't know. Was it a pardon?
They asked him about criminal pardons, and he basically responded with the, I didn't hear you, pardon. How do you explain these pardons? Pardon? Also, why are you asking the reporter about it? You signed it.
I didn't realize we were talking about that January 6th. I thought we were talking about January 6th. 2023, the day Meghan came out, that's who I thought I was pardoning. Meghan was treated very unfairly by Marnie from Girls. And
By the way, that's a true fact that we Googled specifically for this joke. The movie Megan did come out on January 6th. January 6th is also Rowan Atkinson's birthday. Mr. Bean. Unfortunately, Mr. Bean was also at the Capitol. And unlike some of his co-conspirators who ratted out their friends when Mr. Bean was arrested, he didn't talk. So just to explain to me, we took a tangent into Megan and then like went right into Mr. Bean. We're like deeply far away from the news.
All right, good morning. Happy Sunday. The Lion's Den is back. Next on Trump's target, Rosie O'Donnell. You're not going to believe, well, you probably will, what President Trump says next.
And then I'm told that even Rosie O'Donnell reached out from Ireland. She really wanted to be here in order to honor me. She loves me very much, and she was desperate to come back to the United States and pay her respect to Donald J. Trump. Yes. But that didn't work out, unfortunately, because nobody wanted her to come back. But she's one of the greatest sufferers of Trump derangements, and she's a sick young woman, sick older woman, I guess now I have to say.
Now, I got to be honest with each and every one of you that I truly don't care where you all stand politically. But one thing that we can all agree upon is that nobody delivers one-liners like our president, Donald J. Trump. This is exactly why millions of Americans love watching him right now. 1 second he's talking policy, the next second he's roasting somebody. In this particular moment, it happens to be Rosie O'Donnell. Then you watch the videos exposing the entire room on edge. Or watching the people in the room, that's what makes these moments unforgettable. Let me bounce my question back to each and every one of you. Who do you think has been Trump's funniest target over the years? Joe Biden? Rosie O'Donnell? Shifty Shift? But you guys all let me know below in the comments.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks.